Hello. In my last, I keep saying tapes, but my last video, I was discussing the situation of a small business who's been damaged by the COVID-19 pandemic, who is struggling to get through the current times, but expects that things will get better and that they're going to stay in business. I want to continue with that discussion, and I'm going to layer on the problem of they also have debt to service, and that servicing that debt is a problem. There are certain things that can be done to try to service that debt. There are SBA loan programs that are very low interest, so I suppose you could try to refinance the debt. Taking on additional debt is probably not the best way to handle this sort of a problem, but it could be an option. But to refinance the debt might make some sense, but then you have to service that debt. Um, there's the matter of trying to reach out to your creditors and work things out. That becomes particularly important for certain businesses that have relationships with their creditors. So I'm not really talking so much about banks and credit cards, although that could be true, as vendors, for example. I represented a restaurant once upon a time, and I couldn't believe the situation when it first came into my office. The business was current with everyone except the mortgage, and they were on the verge of foreclosure. It was just the craziest thing. But what the fellow was telling me was, number one, he had relationships with all these people. He knew all these people. The mortgage company was, you know, not even from this part of the country, and that these vendors and whatnot were working with them while the mortgage company was not. And so he just kind of dealt with the people who were working with them, and they were also the loudest because they were the ones who were coming into his establishment every week, sometimes every day, to deliver goods. So so you want to preserve some of these relationships. That was not the right way to do it. We did find the right way to do it. But you want to preserve some of these relationships, and sometimes the best way of doing that is reaching out to them, or having someone reach out to their representative for you, and kind of working out new terms. Sometimes, though, there are options within bankruptcy which were designed specifically for this. For sole proprietorships, we have had a great deal of success over the years of using Chapter 13 to accomplish many of the things that you would normally need to go to a Chapter 11 to do in terms of reorganization and whatnot. And this can be a really good way of, of reorganizing, cramming down, restructuring debt, making new deals. A lot of things can happen inside of a Chapter 13 that Chapter 13 was not really designed to do, but we can nevertheless make it happen anyway. Chapter 13 is a reorganization, but it's restricted to individuals, so corporations can't use it. Fortuitously, the Congress very recently added a new section to the Bankruptcy Code, Subchapter 5 of Chapter 11. Subchapter 5 is available to corporations. It's basically a Chapter 13 on steroids. The on steroids does make it a little bit more unwieldy, a little bit more expensive, but it works more or less the same. You can just do some other things with it. But that can be an option. Another thing that we have had great success with in the past, particularly for very small businesses, is taking the proprietor or the corporation, or sometimes both, depending upon the personal guarantees on debt, into Chapter 7, liquidating all of the debt, all the problems, and then turning right around and forming a new corporation or forming a new business out of the ashes of the Chapter 7, sometimes even buying the assets of the original business from the trustee. I will discuss some of these bankruptcy options in greater detail in future videos. But until then, please stay safe, stay strong, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you.